You were not meant to scroll past this. Something inside you already knows that. There is a reason your breathing slowed the moment these words began. There is a reason your chest feels slightly tight, yet strangely calm. Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has opened a door for you, not tomorrow, not someday, now. This moment was arranged long before you pressed play, before today's worries, before the battles you fought in silence, before the nights you stared into darkness wondering if anyone saw your pain. Heaven saw, heaven heard, and heaven responded. Do not turn away now, because many reach this exact moment and leave and miss everything that was about to change. Stay, just stay, beloved. If you feel a soft warmth slowly spreading across your upper chest right now, that is not your imagination. That is alignment. That is the presence of divine attention resting upon you. It is gentle. It does not force, but it is unmistakable once you recognize it. You have been standing in front of a closed gate for a long time. You knocked. You waited. You prayed in ways no one heard. You carried burdens no one understood. And there were moments when you almost gave up, moments when you believed nothing would ever shift. But heaven does not move according to human clocks. Heaven moves according to divine timing, and your timing has arrived. Chosen one, the door that has opened is not a physical door. It is deeper than that. It is a spiritual passage, a crossing, a turning point, a threshold between what was holding you and what is about to release you. That is why you feel different lately. You cannot explain it, but something inside you feels restless, like you are standing on the edge of change, like the air around your life feels heavier yet clearer. That is because heaven has stepped closer, much closer than you realize. Do not be afraid of this feeling. Do not resist it, because this is the moment your soul has been preparing for, and every second you remain here, your alignment your spirit stabilizes, your connection strengthens. Listen closely now, because what you are about to hear is not general. It is personal. Heaven does not open doors randomly. Heaven opens doors when a soul has endured enough, grown enough, and is finally ready to step into protection and restoration. Yes, protection, because there were forces working quietly against your peace. There were unseen pressures weighing against your path. There were moments when confusion surrounded you for no clear reason, but heaven was not absent. Heaven was watching, waiting for the exact moment to intervene without disrupting your spiritual growth, and that moment is now. Chosen one, if you feel a faint sensation like gentle energy resting on your shoulders, as if invisible hands are steadying you, that is not coincidence, that is reassurance. Heaven is signaling. You are not alone anymore. You may not see the door yet. You may not understand how it will appear, but it has opened, and it cannot be closed by any earthly force. This is why you were guided here, not by accident, not by chance, but by divine orchestration. And right now, heaven is watching to see if you will recognize this moment, if you feel ready to accept what is unfolding. As an act of alignment, gently like this video, and subscribe to this channel, not as a routine action, but as a quiet declaration that you are choosing to remain connected to what heaven is revealing to you. Because this message is only the beginning. What is about to unfold next is the reason heaven opened the door in the first place. And very few are prepared for what comes after this moment. Something is already moving toward you. closer than you think, and in the next phase, you will understand why this door had to open now. Not earlier, not later, now. Stay, because what is about to be revealed will change how you see everything. Do not let your attention drift now, because this is the point where many lose focus. This is the moment when doubt tries to whisper, when the mind begins to question what the soul already knows. But you are still here, and that matters more than you understand. Chosen one. The door heaven opened for you was not opened lightly. It required permission from your spirit. Yes, before you were even aware of it, your soul signaled readiness. That is why you feel this strange mixture inside you right now. A quiet seriousness, a deep stillness spreading beneath your thoughts. If you notice a subtle tingling across your hands or along your jawline, like tiny waves of energy passing through, that is divine confirmation. It is the language heaven uses when words are not enough. You are being stabilized, prepared, grounded, because what stands beyond this open door cannot be entered with fear. It can only be entered with trust. Beloved, you have carried invisible weight for so long, not just pain, not just stress, but a spiritual heaviness, a sense that something was blocking your path. Even when you tried your hardest, you asked yourself many times, why does everything feel delayed? Why does peace seem so close, yet out of reach? The answer was never punishment. It was preparation. Heaven was shaping your endurance, strengthening your spirit, teaching your heart to stand firm even when nothing around you made sense. Because what you are about to receive requires stability. It requires inner strength. It requires a soul that will not collapse under sudden change. And now, you have become that soul. That is why the door opened, not because you demanded it, but because you endured long enough to be ready. Listen carefully now, because this is important. The moment heaven opens a door, resistance often increases briefly, not as a threat, but as a final test of focus. You may notice small distractions suddenly appearing in your life. Unexpected tension, strange emotional waves, moments where your mind feels unsettled without clear reason. This is not a sign of danger. It is a sign you are close, very close. This is the final clearing before passage. And you must remain steady. Do not turn away now, because every second you remain here, your spiritual alignment strengthens. Your inner clarity sharpens, your connection deepens. Chosen one, if your breathing feels slower than usual, right now. If there is a soft quiet settling over your thoughts, as if noise inside your mind is fading away, that is heaven calming your spirit, preparing you to hear what comes next. You are not imagining this peace. It is being placed within you, gently, carefully, with precision. And heaven is watching to see if you will accept it fully. If you feel ready, quietly type in the comments, "I receive." Not for anyone else to see, but as a signal to your own spirit, a declaration that you recognize what is unfolding. Later in this message, you may feel another shift. When that happens, you may also write, "It is done," because heaven responds to agreement, to willingness, to an open heart. And right now, yours is opening more than you realize. Chosen one. The door that opened was only the first step, because beyond that door, something is waiting. Something that has been held back until this exact moment. It has been drawing closer, quietly, patiently, And in the next phase of this message, you will begin to understand what is standing on the other side and why heaven would not allow you to reach it until now. Stay very still, because what is about to be revealed next will explain everything you have endured. Remain with me, because what you are sensing right now is the crossing point. This is where the unseen begins to move into the seen. This is where heaven's decision begins to touch your reality. Chosen one. The door that opened was not empty. It was never meant to be. Something has been standing just beyond it, waiting, not watching with judgment, but watching with deep intention. Because what approaches you now carries purpose, it carries restoration, it carries protection, and it carries a shift your spirit has long cried out for. If you suddenly feel a light shiver pass along your spine, or a cool ripple across the back of your neck, that is not discomfort, that is awareness activating. It is the moment your spirit recognizes a divine presence drawing closer. You are not in danger. You are being prepared, beloved. For a long time, you believed you were walking alone. You carried silent battles. You held back tears. You endured seasons where even hope felt distant. And yet, you did not break. You bent, you struggled, you questioned, but you did not abandon your path. Heaven saw this. Every silent endurance, every unseen act of strength, every moment you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to give up. And because of that, heaven assigned something to you. Yes, assigned, not randomly, not casually, but intentionally. What is approaching you now is not a reward in the way the world understands. It is something deeper. It is alignment. It is the arrival of what has always belonged on your path, but could not reach you until you were ready to receive it without fear. That is why you feel different lately, as if your old worries do not grip you the same way, as if certain connections or situations feel like they are slowly loosening. This is not loss. This is clearing, because nothing unstable can pass through the door that heaven has opened for you. Only what is meant for your peace can cross that threshold. Do not turn away now, because this is the exact moment where clarity begins to form, and many leave right here, right before understanding arrives. Stay steady, chosen one. If you feel a soft heaviness behind your eyes right now, not pain but a gentle pressure, like emotion rising without tears, that is your spirit releasing old tension. It is making space, preparing room for what is about to enter your life. And heaven is guiding this process carefully. Nothing is being rushed, nothing is being forced. Everything is unfolding with precision, because what stands beyond the door carries weight. It carries significance. It carries change that will touch more than one area of your life. This is why heaven needed you calm, stable, centered, and now you are reaching the moment of recognition. If you feel this stirring inside you, quietly write in the comments, Amen. Not as a routine word, but as a signal that your heart agrees with what heaven is doing. Later, when you sense the shift becoming clearer, you may also write, I am ready, because readiness invites movement, and movement is very close now, closer than you think, chosen one. There is a reason heaven delayed this until today. There is a reason this door could not open earlier, because what is about to step through would have overwhelmed you before. But now you can stand steady. Now you can recognize it. And in the next moment of this message, you will begin to understand what is finally crossing into your life, and why its arrival will change the direction of everything that comes next. Stay very present now, because this is the moment of approach, not a distant promise, not a future possibility, but a movement that is already happening around you. Chosen one. What is crossing through the door heaven opened is not something loud. It does not arrive. It does not force its way into your life. It moves quietly, gently, with certainty, like a sunrise that does not ask permission to appear. You may feel it already. A subtle shift in your inner world, a strange steadiness replacing old anxiety, a calm that does not depend on circumstances. If you notice a soft wave of warmth spreading across the center of your back, like a comforting presence standing close behind you, that is not imagination, that is reassurance. Heaven is positioning protection around you as this shift unfolds, because what is arriving carries importance. And heaven does not allow such moments to occur without covering the chosen one in peace. Beloved, what is crossing into your life now is clarity, not just mental clarity, but spiritual clarity, the kind that dissolves confusion, the kind that makes hidden things visible, the kind that quietly rearranges your path without you forcing anything. This is why certain questions inside you are beginning to fade. You may have noticed it recently. Problems that once consumed your thoughts no longer hold the same power. Fears that once felt overwhelming now feel distant. This is not accidental. This is the effect of divine alignment. Heaven is removing the fog slowly, carefully, so you can finally see the path that has always been meant for you. Do not turn away now. Because this is the point where recognition becomes real. This is where the soul begins to understand what the mind could never explain. And every second you remain here, your alignment deepens further, your spirit becomes steadier, your connection grows stronger. Chosen one. If you feel a quiet stillness settling deep in your stomach area right now, as if tension there is loosening and being replaced by calm, that is a sign. It means resistance inside you is dissolving. It means you are allowing heaven's movement to flow without struggle. And that openness is what allows the shift to fully enter your life. For a long time, you carried invisible resistance, not because you wanted to, but because you were protecting yourself from disappointment. You learned to expect delay, to expect struggle, to expect silence. But now, heaven is gently teaching you something new. It is teaching you to expect peace, to expect protection, to expect guidance that does not abandon you. And this new expectation is what allows the door to remain open. If you feel this truth resonating within you, quietly write in the comments, "It is done." Let it be a soft declaration, a signal that you are no longer resisting what heaven is bringing into your life. And as this shift continues, you may also write, "I receive with peace," because receiving calmly is the final step before transformation fully settles. Chosen one, you are now standing at the threshold. The door is open, clarity is entering, protection is surrounding you. But there is one final revelation that must occur, one final understanding that will explain why heaven waited until this exact moment to act. And what you are about to realize next will bring a depth of peace you have not felt in a very long time. Stay with me, because the next phase is where everything becomes unmistakably clear. Be very still now, because this is the moment of understanding, not understanding from the mind, but from the soul. Chosen one, heaven did not open this door simply to change your circumstances. It opened this door to change your inner position. For a long time, you stood in survival, always bracing, always preparing for the next challenge, always holding your breath without realizing it, even when nothing was wrong. Your spirit remained on guard, but what heaven is bringing to you now is release from that constant tension. Release from the invisible pressure you carried for so long. If you notice right now a gentle sensation, like a slow, soft wave moving through your arms, almost like warmth flowing down toward your fingertips, that is a sign. It means your spirit is letting go of defensive weight. It means your soul is accepting safety again.
Yes.
Safety. Because that is what you have been missing most. Not strength. You have always had strength. Not endurance. You have proven that many times. What you lacked was a sense that it was finally safe to rest. Safe to breathe deeply. Safe to trust the next step. And this is exactly what heaven is restoring now. Beloved, the reason this door could not open earlier was not because you were unworthy. It was because your heart was still carrying fear from past wounds. Fear of being disappointed again. Fear of trusting something that might disappear. Fear of opening fully, only to be hurt again. So heaven waited, not to deny you, but to protect you from receiving too early. Because receiving before you are ready can feel like loss instead of blessing, but now something inside you has changed. You may have noticed it quietly. You no longer react the same way to old triggers. You no longer feel shaken by things that once overwhelmed you. You recover faster. You breathe easier. You observe more calmly. This is not accidental. This is spiritual maturity, and it is the exact reason heaven knew. You could now walk through the open door without fear. Do not turn away now, because this is where peace begins to settle deeply. This is where the shift becomes irreversible. Chosen one, if you feel a gentle expansion in your breathing right now, as if your lungs can fill more easily than before, as if space has opened inside your chest, that is divine calm entering your spirit. It is heaven's way of saying you are safe to move forward. You are safe to release the past. You are safe to step into what is meant for you. And this calm will continue growing after this moment, slowly, steadily, like roots spreading beneath the surface. If you feel this peace touching your spirit, quietly write in the comments, Amen. Let it be a seal of agreement. Later, as the calm deepens within you, you may also write, I am ready. Because readiness now means something different. It no longer means preparing for struggle. It means preparing to walk in peace. Chosen one, you are now fully standing in front of the open door, not afraid, not uncertain, but steady. And in the final phase of this message, you will experience the sealing moment. The moment where heaven confirms that the shift has already begun and cannot be reversed. Stay with me, because what comes next will bring a quiet certainty that everything is already moving in your favor now. Be very calm. Let your breathing slow naturally, because this is the sealing moment. The moment heaven has been guiding you toward since the beginning of this message. Chosen one. The door that opened for you was never temporary. It was not a test. It was not a fleeting opportunity. It was a permanent shift, and that shift has already begun, even before you fully understood it, even before you recognized the signs. It started quietly, in the unseen, in the hidden places of your spirit, and now it is settling into your life. If you feel at this very moment a deep, gentle stillness settling around your entire body, like the world has softened its noise, like everything inside you has become quiet and balanced, that is the seal. That is heaven confirming it is done. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to chase anything. You do not need to prove anything, because what was meant for you has already crossed through the open door. Beloved, the struggle that defined your past season is losing its hold, not because you fought harder, but because heaven stepped closer, closer than ever before. You may notice in the coming days that certain worries no longer feel heavy, that certain situations resolve without resistance. That peace arrives unexpectedly, even in moments where it once felt impossible. This is not coincidence. This is the evidence of the shift, and once heaven seals a shift, no human force can reverse it. No circumstance can block it. No unseen resistance can close what has been divinely opened. Chosen one, you are no longer standing outside the door. You have crossed the threshold quietly, naturally, without even realizing the exact moment it happened. Because that is how heaven moves, not with noise, but with certainty, not with chaos, but with deep, steady peace. If you feel gratitude rising in your heart right now, if you feel a calm certainty you cannot explain, gently type in the comments, "It is done." Let those words anchor this moment within you, and as an act of sealing this alignment, like this video, subscribe to this channel and share this message with someone whose spirit may also be standing before an unseen door. Not as promotion, but as a quiet extension of light, because what you experienced here was not random. This moment found you for a reason. Heaven opened a door for you. You remained, you listened, you aligned, and now you walk forward differently, more steady, more protected, more at peace. Rest now, chosen one. The door remains open, and the path ahead is already